the last thing is what's wrong with Antonelli? So Antonelli's been frustrated. He's had a lot of DNFs. I don't know really what the cause of that is because I don't think Russell has had as many. We know that the Mercedes car is having trouble. I think one of the big issues with Mercedes cars when they lost that front wing, because they were very good when they had that flexi wing because they were able to modulate between high speed and slow speed corners. But since they've taken that out, they're rubbish on the high speed tracks. And even though on slow speed tracks still have some high speed corners, and the deficits on those high speed corners, even on slow tracks, is too much to make up for the strength they have in the back with their traction and their downforce. So I think that's one of the main issues. But we want to put a finer eye on Antonelli. My quick statement is that the car is the real problem, but it's exacerbated by the problem that Antonelli is not a refined driver. I think he grew up watching videos of Hamilton. I'm not dissing Hamilton, but Hamilton was in the era where the cars were very stable and you could brake late and hard and control the car, but you needed to have a car that was really, really stable. So that's the way he drives now. And with these new cars in this era, these cars aren't stable. They're very mercurial and you have to have more finesse. So Antonelli's driving style is too aggressive. So that's compounding it. Because you have to remember when Antonelli was 10 years old, Hamilton was the best driver in the world. So I think he grew up watching that era and he's not ready for this new era. Now you have young kids who are like Lindblad. They're watching guys like Verstappen and co. So they're going to jump into these cars and do better because they're thinking about cars with downforce and cars that you need to finesse. So I think that's the main issue with what's his name? Too much wine in the morning. Too much with Antonelli. Wine. I should know. Merlot, Antonelli. Antonelli, the wine. Okay. I think his driving, he hasn't refined his driving style. Sort of like when Verstappen first came, he was wild. So it's a mixture of being a wild, natural driver and also having a car that's unpredictable. I think he'll be okay. What are your thoughts, Afolabi? Yeah. Afolabi, are you on mute again?
He's on mute.
I think the boy. I think
he's covering because he's at work.
I think the boy will be fine. It's just that he's a bit deflated. It's expected at that age, but I think he'll come up strong. I think part of the reason why he's experiencing this problem is that in the car development after Montreal, Mercedes actually made some tweaks that resulted in their competitiveness to drop. And then as a rookie, the guy was very, very, he was vulnerable. The car became difficult to drive. He lacks that experience, to compensate for setup deficiencies, aerodynamic imbalance and stuff. So, and even George Russell, the more experienced driver, is struggling, highlighting that it's more about machinery and not quite talent. So Mercedes need to get their acts together. The guy was on top of cloud nine when he won the sprint race. I think it was at Canada that he made podium at
that sprint race is for all the slow guys. Hamilton this year, all of them win those sprint races, even Verstappen last week.
But since then,
main race.
yeah. But since then, he has had 4 retirements in 7 races, low finishes, 17th in Belgium, 16th in the main race. So he's been on a very bad run, and naturally, as a rookie, it's going to affect him. But he needs to get himself together, and expectations too need to be managed around him because he's still basically a very young.
I heard he was almost crying the other day. He was almost crying, and I'm not dissing him for crying, but you know why I was laughing? Don't cry, boy. You're 18 years old. You're a millionaire, and you're handling that car. To me, so he's being too hard on himself. Shit, man. But anyway, I figured out why they're not doing well. Total Wolff borrowed for the money for the sim machine to save up money for buying Verstappen 2 years from now.
Well,
Total Wolff said, "Don't worry, I'm going to borrow from our car development for Verstappen in 2028." And I heard that he signed. I know I'm getting off topic, but he signed George Russell to 2 years. Oh, wow, an extra year. Because they know they won't have Verstappen next year. You get my point? So he gave George Russell a 2-year contract. They're still going after Verstappen. It's just that they can't get him now because of the clause. And that's the good thing about Verstappen. Verstappen could have easily started losing so he could get out of his contract. And if he comes fourth, but he's still driving hard.
So we'll no punk.
I like that. But I think that in 2007 you'll see Verstappen and Mercedes or Aston Martin. So let's get back to the story. What are your thoughts quickly, Mr. Johnny, on the young boy Antonelli?
What's the matter with Antonelli is actually, let me answer that question like a true Nigerian. What's the matter with Mercedes-Benz?
Yeah, the car, man. That car
actually,
is
you said it, yeah. You said it because that car is
I think Johnny's breaking. You're breaking.
The guy is not allowing that boy to shine. Good boy. I just hope that if he gets into a new good car, you said it all actually, because you took the words exactly out of my mouth. Man, that's about Antonelli. It's the car. It's actually it's
the car. But also, I think also he's a raw driver, so it exacerbates the problem that he's raw too. Also, yeah. But it's the car.
This is what if Hamilton was still in Mercedes, we'll be asking. This is what we'll be saying right now. We're talking about this very topic now, like
the same issue.
But I get Hamilton. Yeah,
you're right. But what I was going to say, we have to give credit to Russell though, because Russell said it before. Russell's used to driving bad cars. He gets them, but if you're in a car that's really fast, you can beat Russell. So Russell said that if Hamilton and him drove in a car that was really excellent, Hamilton will beat him. But in a car that's rubbish, he'll beat Hamilton. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So exactly. So Hamilton would have been losing anyhow, like this, like it would have even been worse for him.
Yeah.
Should have been, So it's actually kind of, maybe in hindsight, it's better that Hamilton went to Ferrari than stayed in Mercedes,
And next year
anyway, we're talking about Antonelli anyway. So that's it.
No, it doesn't matter. We can go on detours. And the thing is that next year the cars will change again, so they may suit Hamilton. So I think Hamilton, let's put it like that. I think Verstappen is the best driver, but I think Hamilton is still good enough that if he has a really good car, he could win a championship. Yeah. He could. Let's put it like this: Hamilton's a better driver than Norris. He's a better driver than Norris. Let's put it like that. Maybe. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Also, Alonso. Let's not forget Alonso. It's just that he has a rubbish car. All right, Cooley, what are your last thoughts on Antonelli before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'd like to put things on perspective for Antonelli, because I've got underwear, literally got underwear older than this child. And and I'm paying for my son's driving lessons this summer, and he's also 18 years old, like Antonelli. Antonelli is an ever-improving driver. I think that he should have goals. He shouldn't get frustrated. His goal for this season is, let's try to get to a podium finish. Okay, I've managed to break the top 5. Let's try to get to podium finish. Don't worry about if you're not finishing in all the races or you're not doing just do that. You're 18 years old, yeah? You're in a car that is struggling. Your partner is probably the second best driver on circuit, and he's struggling just as much as you are. And you are managing to keep up with him. You're doing a very good job. I think that once you just have a bit of patience with Antonelli, it's his first season. It's his very first season. If he can get a podium, it doesn't mean he can still go on to become the next Fangio or Schumacher. God knows, we still won't know his ceiling at the end of this season. So what he needs to do is just to build on what he's done and just try to get a podium finish. Just try to get one podium finish and then get some points. He's got a good set. He's got some points from Mercedes, and he should build on that and stay patient. I think he's doing okay.
I agree. Yeah, I think all athletes and even people even when we're doing our show, you can't be upset when you're not getting results immediately. You just have to create small goals, accomplish those goals, and then create bigger goals and keep on. Yeah, so you're right about that. Because right now, we know that nobody's going to touch McLaren. So what they can do is, like you said, get on the podium. Also, Hamilton should try to get on the podium this year. George Russell has already gotten on the podium. Leclerc has got on the podium several times. Leclerc has already had a successful season, as far as I'm concerned. So those are good thoughts. Last thoughts, Afolabi, on Antonelli.
Yeah, like Kule rightly mentioned, this season is a platform for him to express himself, show his talent, and then go on to develop better. I believe the likes of Verstappen too had some pitting issues in the early stage, so he shouldn't get discouraged. But I think it's time to protect him more. It's like just throwing him into den of lions. That's the way it is. The stakes are a little bit too high for him in that environment. They need to protect him more, and they need to carry him along with all these setup, changes, and he needs to get more used to driving that car, especially when there are a lot of developmental changes and setup adjustments, basically. But I think it will come good. It will certainly come good.
All right, take us out, Afolabi. Thanks, guys.
It's been another brilliant Formula One show. We have been previewing, Hungaroring, and discussing the talking points and the fallout of Oscar Piastri versus Lando Norris in Belgium. And from Mustafa, Mr. Johnny, and Kunle, we'll be back again sometime during the weekend.
All right, so we'll do another one on Friday. We don't have to do F1 tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Okay, cool. Olabi, I like your flower power shirt.
Yeah, thank you.